Brought to you by WikiVD Documentaries. Hawaii Five-0, 2010 TV series. Hawaii Five-0 is an American action police procedural television series, which premiered on Monday, September 20, 2010 on CBS. The series is a reboot of the original series, which aired on CBS from 1968 to 1980. Like the original, it follows an elite state police task force set up to fight crime in the state of Hawaii. The series is produced by K.O. Paper Products and 101st Street Television in association with CBS Productions. Originally an in-name-only unit of, but folded into CBS Television Studios, which has produced the series since the beginning of Season 3. On March 25, 2016, CBS renewed the series for a seventh season, which premiered on September 23, 2016. On March 23, 2017, CBS renewed the series for an eighth season, which is set to premiere on September 29, 2017. Premise: the series covers the actions of a small, specialized DPS task force in Hawaii, headed by LT. Commander Steve McGarrett, USNR. The task force answers only to the governor of the state of Hawaii, and was given immunity and means to investigate crimes ranging from terrorism to kidnapping. McGarrett chooses as his partner Honolulu PD Detective Danny "Dano" Williams. He fills out the team by selecting Chin Ho Kelly, his father's protege, and Chin's cousin, Kono Kalakaua, a rookie HPD cop. They are assisted by Dr. Max Bergman, a medical examiner for the county of Honolulu, and Jerry Ortega, Chin's high school classmate, and a conspiracy theorist. Steve later adds Lou Grover, a HPD SWAT commander, to the Five-0 team, and Catherine Rollins, Steve's girlfriend. History: the idea to bring Hawaii Five-0 back to television had been under consideration well before the 2010 version was announced. The first attempt was a one-hour pilot for a new series that was made in 1996, but never aired, although a few clips were found years later and available online. Produced and written by Stephen J. Cannell, it was intended to star Gary Busey and Russell Wong as the new Five-0 team. Original cast member James MacArthur briefly returned as Dan Williams, this time as governor of Hawaii, with cameos made by other former Five-0 regulars. Another attempt was made to turn the project into a film by Warner Brothers, but that also was scrapped. On August 12, 2008, CBS announced that it would bring Hawaii Five-0 back to the network schedule for the 2009-10 television season. The new version would be an updated, present-day sequel, this time centering on Steve McGarrett, who succeeds his late father Steve as the head of the unit. Edward Allen Bernero, executive producer and showrunner of Criminal Minds, was to helm the new take, which he described as Hawaii Five-0 version 2.0. It was also to incorporate most of the iconic elements from the original, including the "Bukiem Dano" catchphrase, into the remake. Bernero, who was a fan of the original and had a ringtone of the series theme song on his cell phone, had always wanted to bring the series back to TV. This version did not go beyond the script stage. In October 2009, it was announced that Alex Kurtzman and Roberto Orsi had signed on to script a pilot episode, and that Peter M. Lenkoff would serve as the series showrunner. Kurtzman and Orsi decided to reboot the original concept similar to the work on the 2009 Star Trek film, rather than a sequel to the original series. Production on the pilot was shot in and around Honolulu from February to April 2010. On May 17, 2010, the Hawaii Five-0 remake was picked up by CBS, which scheduled it for Monday nights in the 10:11 p.m. time slot. The news was good for the state of Hawaii, which hopes that the remake will pump new life into the economy. Production of the remainder of the first season started in June 2010. On June 24, 2010, the producers announced that it will use the warehouse at the former Honolulu Advertiser building as the official soundstage studio for the series starting in July 2010. Exteriors representing FIVE-0 headquarters in the series are located at the Judiciary History Center of the Supreme Court building in Honolulu, directly across the street from Iolani Palace, which represented FIVE-0 headquarters in the original series. On October 21, 2010, CBS announced that the first season had been given a full season order of 24 episodes. Subsequent seasons have consisted of between 23 and 25 episodes. This revival series uses a zero as the last character in its title instead of the letter O that is used in the title of the original series. According to Los Angeles Times, a CBS insider said that the disambiguation was necessary because of search engine results. When Variety conducted its own search engine test on Google, it found that Hawaii Five-0 had 263,000 results, while Hawaii Five-0 had over 1.7 million. Online voting by viewers determined the ending of the January 14, 2013 episode, Kapu, with two zones: Eastern and Central time zones, and Mountain and Pacific time zones, each getting their own result. Each alternative ending could be seen online after the episode aired. Casting. In February 2010, it was announced that Daniel Day Kim had been cast to play Chin-Ho Kelly, an ex-cop trained by Steve McGarrett's father. He was the first actor cast for the remake. Several days later, Alex O'Loughlin was cast as Steve McGarrett, the son of ex-cop John McGarrett. The producers pay homage to the original series throughout the first year by making one of Steve's hobbies restoring his father's 1974 Mercury Marquis, which is in fact the actual car driven by Jack Lord in the latter half of the original series run. Actress Grace Park was later cast as rookie detective Kono Kalakaua. Although in the original series, the character of Kono was male, the Reboot series swapped the cop's gender in order to steer clear of a task force void of women. Scott Kahn was cast as Dano Williams. In the recurring cast are Gene Smart as Governor Pat Jameson, and Mazi Oka as the medical examiner Max Bergman. Oka was upgraded to series regular for the second season. Of note, several recurring roles have been filled by surviving members of the original cast. Al Harrington, who played Det. Ben Kokua in the original series, now plays a friend of McGarrett's, Mamo Kahiki. Dennis Chun, who had various guest roles in the original series and is the son of Kam Fung Chun, has a recurring role as HPD Sergeant Duke Lakayla in the remake. James MacArthur, the last surviving main cast member from the original series, agreed to guest star in a first-season episode. However, he died on October 28, 2010. Before filming his appearance, Larissa Olenek was cast as Jessica Kay, scheduled to join the FIVE-0 task force in the show's 19th episode. Olenek appeared on a recurring basis for the remainder of the 2010-11 season, with an option to become a regular in Season 2. However, her character was killed off in Season 2, Episode 10. It was also announced that Terry O'Quinn would be joining the cast of the show in Season 2, along with Lauren German, who would play Laurie Weston, a former Homeland Security official assigned by their new governor to keep an eye on the team. For Season 3, Christine Latty was cast in a recurring role as Doris McGarrett, the thought-to-be-deceased mother of Steve McGarrett. Also, Michelle Borth, who plays LT. Catherine Rollins, became a main cast member for Season 3, after appearing as a guest star in several Season 4 episodes. Jorge Garcia, who plays the character of Jerry Ortega, was promoted to series regular commencing Season 5. This is the second time Kim and Garcia serve as regulars together, with Lost being the first, beginning with the second episode of the 2016-17 season. Claire Forlani had a recurring role as Alicia Brown, a retired criminal profiler who helped the team find a serial killer. On November 17, 2016, it was announced that Marzioka, who portrays Dr. Max Bergman, would be departing the series after the 13th episode of the 7th season. Music. Hawaii 5-0 uses the original show theme song composed by Morton Stevens. Critics received an early copy of the pilot with a synthesizer and guitar-based version of the theme. After negative reaction to the reworked song spread quickly online, Kurtzman said he and others realized that changing the music was a mistake, and arranged for studio musicians, including 3 who had worked on the original from 1968, to re-record the theme exactly as it was, except shortened to 30 seconds from its original length of about 60 seconds. Original instrumental music is composed by Brian Tyler and Keith Power. Soundtrack. Hawaii 5-0 original songs from the television series is a soundtrack album featuring music used in the CBS television series Hawaii 5-0. The first volume in the series received attention for how show producers integrated these new and previously unreleased tracks from major name artists into the second season episodes. This method contrasted with the norm for TV soundtracks, which tend to be compilations of previously released music that is already available individually or on other albums. Hawaii 5-0 original songs from the television series was released on October 4, 2011. McGarrett's car. The car driven by the original Steve McGarrett in Hawaii 5-0 is a 1974 Mercury Marquis. The car has belonged to stuntman John Nordlum since the original series ended. Nordlum has let the car be used in the new series, where it is said to have belonged to Steve McGarrett's father John. The license plate is still F6 3958. Broadcast. The series premiered in the United States on CBS on September 20, 2010. Exactly 42 years after the premiere of the original series, Canada's Global TV and NTV premiered the show at the same time as the United States premiere. Hawaii 5-0 has been syndicated for broadcast in several countries worldwide, including Australia, the United Kingdom, and South Africa. Critical reception. The show has received mostly positive reviews. Metacritic gave Season 1 of the show a 65 out of 100 aggregate score based on reviews from 22 critics. Rotten Tomatoes gave Season 1 a score of 74% based on 23 reviews. The site's consensus calls it a brisk, slick reboot of an old favorite. Hawaii 5-0's picturesque locales and attractive cast make for pleasurable viewing. On May 19, 2010, the Honolulu Advertiser offered an opinion about the new version, a smart script slick production values, and maybe a splash of nostalgia got the remake of Hawaii Five-0 placed on the CBS primetime lineup this fall, but it will take more than beefcake and a remixed theme song to keep the show on the air. The piece also pointed out that times have changed since the original left the air, citing other shows that were set in Hawaii which have come and gone. It expressed a hope that the producers will succeed in bringing a new life to the title. With this remake, Hawaii Five-0 was also in the Guinness World Records 2012 for highest-rated new show in the US with a record 19.34 million viewers for its January 23, 2011 episode. The FIVE-0 effect. Hawaii Five-0 made several positive effects on the state's economy since it began airing. Known as the FIVE-0 effect by Hawaii News Now reporter Steve Uehara, various Hawaii-based businesses saw an increase in sales after they were featured in episodes of the show. Visitor numbers to the USS Missouri Memorial Association, after being featured in some of the episodes, increased 25%, helping the site achieve a record year in 2010. Wyola Shave Ice, the business run by Kamiko Onna on the show, saw a 20% increase in shave ice sales, along with a 30% rise in t-shirt sales. Kona Brewing Company also saw a 60% increase in sales after their beers were featured as McGarrett's favored alcoholic beverage in several episodes. In addition, residents from other states visit Hawaii based on viewing the series. Syndication. TNT has acquired the off-network rights to air the series. Episodes began airing on the cable channel in August 2013. Thank you for watching. Brought to you by WikiVD Documentaries. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.